right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all. So this is something I've been wanting to talk about over the past few days. And by the time I've done this video or put it out, I might have talked about it in a live stream or podcast. But I want to talk about Erin Blanchfield and Casey O'Neill and the confidence in these two fighters. And I might add in some other fighters as well, give some examples of confidence budding in certain fighters that are on the come up right now. And right now, I just wanted to kind of focus on Erin and Casey O'Neill because right now, these are two of the up-and-comers in the flyweight division that are going from prospect, where they're trying to go from prospect to contender. And they're willing to take on any test that's going to help them become a better fighter. I mean, Erin Blanchfield right now, she probably has the biggest test out of these two right here. But Casey O'Neill, you can definitely put her on that level as a confident fighter and a fighter that wants to improve and take on the best to become a better fighter, right? And that's how you're supposed to do. So I just wanted to do this video and talk about these two and the confidence that they carry because it's going to be critical into really bringing forward more contenders for the champion in this division. Because, we talk about flyweight, it's a budding division. It's almost as hot as strawweight right now, but we just need a few more proven fighters, right? And to really prove yourself, we know you need the skills. We know you need the talent. You got to have the IQ and everything, but you also got to have the confidence, right? Because the confidence is going to help transition your skills, right? Like anybody can go in there and learn how to turn over punches and, throw head kicks and shoot in for takedowns. But if you don't feel like pulling the trigger, then you're not really going to show your best work, right? You're probably going to hit off the mark most of the times, right? But if you are holding that weapon the right way and you got your finger on the trigger and you got that target in your sights and you know that you can hit that target and you a dead eye, all that confidence that comes through, it's going to come through in that performance. It's going to come through in that performance. And I think that Erin Blanchfield and Casey O'Neill, they do carry some heavy confidence that's needed and needs to show, and they lead by example in this division. I know some people say we overrating, but look, you can talk about Casey O'Neill all you want as far as not being proven with her skills, but when it comes down to her confidence, I think that's what's going to help her find that balance along the way. And that's why you need confidence, man. Like, it's not just about the skills. You got to have the confidence because, again, the confidence is going to help you fully commit and fully execute what you're trying to do, right? That's why you see fighters like Erin talk the way they do. You hear them talk the way they do. Casey talk the way they do. But they don't step too far out of line. Now that I go back and think about it, like Casey O'Neill hasn't really stepped too far out of line to say, okay, I'm going to beat the champion one now. She says one day she'll get there, right? Because she knows that that's still far off. So in the meantime, she wants to perfect her game. She wants to perfect herself, right? And she carries that type of confidence. The confidence that these two fighters have, you don't really see that too much in this division. I mean, some of the fighters, they do. I'm definitely not saying every fighter in this division is like, unsure of themselves. But when I hear these two fighters talk in interviews, you actually hear that contender. You hear the contender coming out of them already, right? You can hear it, and you can hear that they really do believe in themselves. Like Casey O'Neill. Let's go back to Casey O'Neill. She's been off for almost a year now. She'll be making a return in March, right? I believe it is March. It'll definitely be over a year since her last fight against Roxy back in February, right? And in her recent interview with Ariel Helwani, what did she say? She said, hey, this is the fight I wanted, Jennifer Maia. Because even before she did the interview, she called out Jennifer Maia. She said, that's the fight I want. I want to fight somebody that's fought the champion, that's fought some of the highest contenders. That's the best way to prove myself. When she talked to Ariel, he said, is that a good fight to take on your comeback? Are you sure? Like, why didn't you fight down? What did she say? She said, no, fighting somebody like Jennifer Maia is going to help her find out where she is. It's going to help her get that experience that she needs. She wants to get that experience against a fighter like Jennifer Maia, lay off or not, right? Because anything as a step down, like an unranked fighter or somebody below her, is not really going to help her prove herself, right? If she just goes in there and wipes him out, you're not going to get the work you need. So fighting somebody like Jennifer Maia, who I think will probably come out the victor in this fight, still would be better than fighting some unranked fighter that has no ground game and crumbles under pressure, right? That wouldn't really, some type of stay busy like fight like that really wouldn't do Casey O'Neill any justice, right? So her taking on somebody like Jennifer Maia, whether it's been 10 months or 11 months or a year and a half off, that's the type of fight that I think is going to boost her confidence, because it's going to tell her where she's at, right? It's going to say, okay, I'm not as fast as I thought I was. I need to work on not being as predictable with my head kicks or my body kicks, or I got to learn how to use my calf kicks on a type of fighter that has this type of lateral movement. I got to learn how to set them up, right? So that's something you can take away from this fight, right? You can really gauge yourself. You'll get the rounds that you need versus, somebody that's going to just be a quick pushover. It's going to give you false confidence. And that's where delusion comes in. Like, if you continue to beat the same, like, low-level fighters or somebody that they're just trying to build up, those type of fighters, they have more delusion than they do have confidence. But see, at least Casey O'Neill, she's fought a few fights that I think, of course, weren't the best test, but she was still growing at the time. But now fighting somebody like Jennifer Maia, that's going to tell her where she really is. And she's not afraid to admit that. She's not afraid to admit that, hey, this is going to be a good fight. I need this type of fight. Even after layoff, there's no excuses. We got to go right back in, right? So I got to give her credit for that. And, that type of fighter you do want to see get to the top 10 or top 5 at some point. Whether you like him or not, if you think of him as a champ or a heel, somebody like her definitely put some life into the division. I know some people think I hate Casey O'Neill. I don't know why. I'm just being real when I call these fighters out what they need to work on. But what she has as far as, natural talent, and the dog in her, I can't deny that. I definitely can't deny that. And the confidence, no, the girl walks with that. She's walking with that even after, such a long layoff. Jennifer Maia is on her radar. Erin Blanchfield, same thing. She's in my quadruple threat. Erin, in some recent interviews, I know some people think she's talking reckless, but again, like seeing her career in the very beginning, even, when she was just, working her way up to get her black belt in jiu-jitsu and working her way through Invicta and dominating most of these fights. I've already seen that confidence in her, and that's the approach that you need to let people know that you're no nonsense. Like, it's not being cocky and it's not being delusional. It's about how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself with that type of energy, that type of confidence, it already puts you ahead of some of these other fighters. Why do you think Valentina is the way she is? Like, Erin holds the cold-blooded moniker, but Valentina Shevchenko is also cold-blooded, right? Do you ever notice, like, those cold-blooded fighters that just have that 1,000-yard stare, that just want to get in there and get it done, or those fighters that don't really talk in their feelings? They're the ones that you see prosper, right? They're the ones that you see prosper. Like, Valentina is never really in her feelings about fights. Some people can get under her skin, but for the most part, it's just about work. It's like work to her. She's just punching in, and she's just punching in and trying to get it done and add to her legacy. And I think Erin's that same way. Erin has confidence in her that just says, I'm better than these other fighters. They're not as dangerous as they're made out to be. Like she said about Tyler, like, I ain't take no knock to that. When she said she's she's not that dangerous of a fighter, right? You're not supposed to really think that way about a fighter. You're like, oh man, somebody that's dangerous. And she's in the rankings just like her. She's a fighter just like her. So it's like, you have to understand what they can do and respect it, but you don't have to call that fighter out and say they're dangerous. Of course, to the fans, we'd be like, oh, that's a danger to it, right? Because even I'm still picking Santos by an edge to get the win against Erin Blanchfield. But for Erin, who wants to do the unthinkable and possibly dominate Tyler Santos, you got to go in there at that type of confidence and say, okay, no, my jiu-jitsu is better. My striking is improved. I'm just as much of a dog, maybe even more than her, right? You got to carry that. So, yeah, even Erin Blanchfield, we need that type of energy at flyweight. And I think that's why the UFC is looking to match these fighters up now against some of these former title contenders, because we need people that are going to be lining up after this Alexa Grasso fight that's coming up. We need people lining up that say, okay, I'm ready. I'm confident. I'm ready and willing. I'm ready and willing to do it. If I lose, oh well, it's a learning experience, right? And I think for the most part, that's where MMA kind of is with theirs versus like boxing. Like, boxing, everybody's been kind of glorifying the whole undefeated aura. Everybody respects the O so much more that fighters tend to cherry pick more. You know what I mean? Like, matchmakers tend to cherry pick more. Managers and promoters and the sanctioning bodies, they want to keep certain fighters safe, right? But at least in the world of MMA, they already come in with that. They come in with that mindset that, you can't go undefeated for so long, right? And if you lose a fight, you learn from it, right? So taking on somebody, like I said, of a Jennifer Maia caliber is going to do something more for you than taking on somebody that, is on their way out the door for a Casey O'Neill, even if she is coming off a layoff, right? So these type of fighters in MMA, they already come in with needing that type of confidence to say, I'm better than this person and not as dangerous, right? So yeah, man, Erin Blanchfield, Casey O'Neill, fighters like Chelsea Chandler, who I probably talked about in this podcast, that's coming up by now, probably a couple of days late now, or a day late. Tyler Santos, same thing with Tyler real quick. Tyler Santos, people think that she's being delusional as well when she calls out Valentina. But no, like, she's just using different strategies to say, look, I know what I did last time. I can come back and do it again, because only you are going to carry that type of confidence in yourself. Your most diehard fan, your most crazy fanboy, your simp out there, they still aren't as confident. They'll still never hold as much confidence in you as much as you will. Only a fighter can be 100% confident in what they can do in there. Even the big fanboy, like I said, they never are that confident in you. They're just crazy. They're just crazy half the time. But final thoughts. Yeah, Erin Blanchfield, we need somebody like her in the division. Casey O'Neill, definitely. I like the confidence that they're carrying up. Whether they win or lose in this fight, even if they lose in this fight, I think if both of these fighters lose their fight, I think they'll learn a lot from it and they'll bounce right back. You won't see them disappear, or you won't see them kind of just fall off. They'll learn from it, because I think that's Casey O'Neill's whole mindset in this fight. Is to just step in the fire. If she comes out with minor burns, cool. If she gets burnt up, she'll come right back. She'll shake it off, scrape it off like burnt toast, and she'll come right back. Same with Erin. I think if Tyler goes in there and was to dominate, Erin would still say, okay, this is what I got to work on. But with her energy that she carries, it's getting harder and harder for me to see her just get dominated, man. Like, Erin Blanchfield, I think she really knows what she's dealing with, and she just trains with such a good camp, and she's around great fighters that I don't see her making that mistake like some of these other fighters have on Tyler Santos' resume. So Tyler, she's going to have a big test ahead of her, and with both of these fighters being confident in what they can do, we should be seeing a good fight. Do I want it again right away? Not right away, but I think they'll the fans will make us rethink and say, we're ready to do this. And look, don't be surprised, don't be shocked if either one of these fighters, or if both of these fighters, is able to win their fights. Don't be surprised if Blanchfield is able to beat Santos, or if O'Neal comes out on top over Maia, because like I said, with the confidence they carry, it's going to translate into their performance, in their skills, and their technique. And let Jennifer Maia just have a few moments of falling asleep in there, or just sitting back and not pulling the trigger, and you could see Casey O'Neill just take full advantage of that and overwhelm. And that's what makes you worried about these type of fighters in there, with some type of skillful fighters that, they get overconfident, or they think that, oh, my pure skills will just beat this fighter with half the talent. No, like, Casey O'Neill, she carries that confidence in her and that reassurance that I'm good. I got the skill, I got the pressure to overwhelm, and she just keeps coming, and she just don't stop, right? The well-balanced fighters like Shevchenko, they know how to shut that down. But let somebody like Jennifer Maya that sometimes can go to sleep in there and come up short, let that be, let that be the night Casey O'Neill could overwhelm, right? So Casey O'Neill might not have the same skill set, but if she's confident in what she can do, it'll translate every moment, every minute, every round. It's possible, right? Same thing with Erin Blanchfield. Like Tyler, like Erin Blanchfield acknowledged. So see, Erin Blanchfield already acknowledged the fact that Tyler's a well-rounded fighter. She says she's not dangerous, but she acknowledged the fact she has good stand-up wrestling. Her jiu-jitsu's decent, but she knows she's a black belt. Erin knows she's a black belt, so she's not going to go overboard here. But let this be the night that Tyler will be thinking about Valentina or something like that, or thinking that I don't have to go full 100%. Like, I don't have to go full throttle like I did against Valentina in this fight because Erin's not going to be half the fighter she is, right? Let her just come in for that fight just off just a little bit. In a fighter like Erin, who's always confident, even again, okay, she might not have the best stand-up right now, or she might get tagged a few times, right? Don't matter. If Erin is on her game and her mind is to win, and I got everything I need to win, don't be surprised now if she goes in there and pulls off some type of game plan to nullify Santos or outwork her and take the victory. I'm just saying, y'all know belief in yourself is a big part of it. It is a big part of it. And, we have to agree with that, because that's why some fighters just don't go straight for the belt or call out the champion, because they're not carrying that same type of energy and that type of aura, right? Does that make sense? But yeah, that's why I'm already keeping an open mind for this. And, I've been like that with MMA for a long time. Like, as I said, with boxing, you can pretty much predict sometimes because, for me, I can predict it because I've been watching it for so long. But sometimes even your casual fans know who's going to win a fight in boxing, right? Because it's a cherry sometimes. For the most part, sometimes it could be a cherry in boxing. But MMA, I understand that anything can happen because there's more skills, there's more disciplines that are involved, but also I see a different type of confidence in these type of fighters that can take you just over the edge sometime, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that person wasn't supposed to win, right? The script is usually like rewritten a lot in the world of MMA. So again, man, do not be surprised if they do pull out the wins, and if they do, hey, confidence is the thing. But that's what it is, guys. Confidence is a big part of this game. We need to see more fighters that believe in their skills, because if we don't, we're just going to get a bunch of, half-aid fights, because they can be the best grappler in the world, best Muay Thai fighter in the world, the best well-rounded fighter in the world, or so they say, the best skills. But if they're not fully executing it, then shoot, what's the point of, carrying that weapon if you ain't going to pull the trigger, right? So, guys, let me know what y'all think. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.